This model kit review is of the Corvette Stingray, the third one, or number 3. It's a 1/25th scale model by Revell monogram. And here you can see pictures of the finished model. Another picture there. And there's with the top on. Let's have a look inside. Wow, that's molded in purple, alright. So first of all, here we have our wheels, or our tires. These are a little dirty, but otherwise fairly well molded. We've got some mold lines that'll need to get cleaned up. Here's our glass and our windshield. Need to be sanded and polished. And we have whatever remaining decals there are. Not very many. Looks like they're just water damage. And here are our wheels and hubs. We've got some of the engine parts here as well in chrome. So let's have a look. Here's our body. This is the rear body. Reasonably well molded. No real mold lines. Here's our front nose. We do have some mold lines here. Here's the hard top for the convertible. We've got seats here, and there's the back part of the seats up here. Here's our cockpit. We've got our side mirrors here, and wheel wells. We've got our tail lights. Here's our chassis and the other sides of the wheels here. Here's our dashboard. We've got our steering wheel. Here's our exhaust system. Do have some mold lines on most of these parts here. And here's our engine with our drive shaft and transmission. And our belts. Here's our radiator with the radiator fan, parts of our suspension and transmission. Here, the drive shaft, and it looks like our air intake and our steering. Insides of the doors here. So let's have a look. So this was actually a purple car, and let's have a look at our instructions here. So we start off with the engine assembly, then the transmission axle mounted onto the chassis, then the engine drive shaft mounted onto the chassis, exhaust system as well. And then over here we have a radiator in front and front suspension. We build the cockpit, put the seats together inside. The body parts are built, the cockpit is mounted, and then wheels are put on. The body is mounted. Next we put on the windshield and tail lights. Looks like our horn, and the front body is then put on, and the front nose piece is put on, side mirrors, and then the hard top, if you wanted it, is also optional. Decals, we don't have any of those left, unfortunately, but here's our painting, our color guide, and there's the paint guide. So all in all, actually a fair level of detail. Molding quality is okay. Unfortunately these decals have perished in water.